Hello, I thought I'd just put up a little tip for anybody who's using Linux. Because I made the transition into Linux almost a year ago from Windows, and I used Linux Mint, and then I ended up being in Manjaro. And I actually have some books that have been written. Uh, they were written over 20 years ago, but a friend of mine and I continually add two things while looking for ways to publish things. But what I found the problem was that when I was typing, I wasn't getting any spell checking, and nothing was really spell checked at all because these little wavy lines didn't show up under these misspelled words all over the place. So I was wondering what in the heck was going on. So I looked all over the internet, and basically I went to a LibreOffice site, and they had told me to look absolutely everywhere in the application that I had already looked. By all rights, I thought I had everything set up correctly because it said that the language that I was using was English and USA. Went up to the tools, checked out the language settings. This is for the session only, so you don't really change it here because it's only going to save it with that document apparently. It says, well, you got the English here, you got English USA, you got for all text English USA. None of those had anything to do with the problem that I was having, and that problem is if I decided to check the spelling up here, and what happened is in this box here, text language, it had none, and it didn't even have anything for me to actually put anything in there. So apparently this deals with something completely different outside of LibreOffice. And what I found was on an Ubuntu help site, somebody suggested to another user that was having a problem like this to install a language pack. And I thought, well, that was kind of weird because when you choose your language and your region and all that other stuff, when you do an install of the operating system, it should automatically put that in there, or at least I thought. Because in Mint, I never had a problem with it, but as I switched from Mint into Manjaro, for a few different reasons, something didn't go well, I guess, or it's not a part of the install, and it may be something that you might overlook. This may also help people on other distributions as well. So I'm using Manjaro KDE Plasma Edition, which is awesome. But what happened was that on that little note from the Ubuntu helpline, I decided to go check the language out. And so you can find that down in your language sets, and this was completely blank. It had nothing to choose from up here. So I had to add the language. When I added the American English as being the default, I'm not sure why it wasn't installed by default, because that's what I chose on install. Maybe it just isn't. Maybe there's something weird about the installer. Not sure. Once I did that, then I went into the other language settings, like the language packs. And the language packs all of a sudden populated with these two things here, and then it gave me like a drop-down list of the things that were going to be installed, which we can see over here. These parts aren't the ones that I'm worried about the most. There is one down here that I am, and it's this one. It's the Unspell spell checker. That is what was missing from the system, and it will only be added to the system after you add a language. It will sit up here and look for these different types of things to add in here to go into Firefox, Thunderbird. You know, there's a spell checker, GIMP, but this is the thing that it's looking for right there. So if you're having problems in documents, you're trying to do schoolwork, you're trying to write a book, you're trying to do whatever, and you're not getting any feedback on whether or not you're spelling things correctly, double check here to make sure that you have your language packages and installed into your system, and then you shouldn't have that problem. Once I did that, bang, everything worked perfectly. This area was populated with English USA. It also has some English Philippines, but that's a part of the package apparently. But then everything works fine. So it doesn't matter what your languages say within, say, the tools here, or there's another area within this the menu. Let's see here. Maybe it's in the preferences or properties or something like that. I can't remember where else I looked. I looked all sorts of places to find out what was going on in here, and none of the things that were related to language ever changed what this heading said. So you have to install your spell checker in your language packs. So hopefully this helps some people out. Hopefully it helps more people out than just start using Manjaro, but use Linux in general. If you're having that problem, there's your solution. It's kind of unfortunate that we have to look all over the place for solutions all over the internet. I could have probably looked in the Arch Wiki, I'm not sure, but it wasn't anything that showed up immediately. So hopefully this helps out. You spread the word, and then you get the help that you need from here. It's a very, very simple solution to that stuff. So, all right, thank you for listening.